PSR, and I'm delighted to welcome you all tonight to a remarkable evening of movement, of joy, of resistance, of celebration. We are living through a time in which it is critically important that we celebrate. Amen. That we draw on the traditions of decades, centuries, millennia, of communities that know that when our movement is criticized, whether that is political or physical, we must stand up. And that it is best to be done to a tune that we might share, the tune of justice, the tune of hope. We gather in this space, the Batey Museum, that grounds us in legacies and traditions of the importance of bringing the various traditions that we inhabit in our lives to inform our understanding of one another and the divine. Most of you know that as you walk around this building, which was originally this part of the building, the library, there are rocks on the building that represent most of the faith traditions of the world. And that was 100 years ago. A commitment of the predecessors of ours here that recognize in their own way the importance of drawing on multiple traditions. In the Christian tradition, it says that Jesus, as he was being praised and there was a rejection of those who were calling Hosanna towards him, he said, if the children are silenced, the rocks will speak. We are surrounded here by rocks, ancient materials of previous generations, the traditions and the religious understanding of the 99%. In this museum, we have a collection of items that remind us of the multiplicity of traditions that shape the world and connect us, particularly in times of uncertainty, to the deep, long traditions that inform, that celebrate, and that resist. So I am deeply grateful to Professor Ish, wherever you are, Ish, now I lost you, Professor Alexandra over here, and to the folks that will be introduced you shortly for the opportunity to be here together, and to everyone else that has helped to make this event possible tonight. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you, President David. Bienvenidos, bienvenidas, bienvenides. On behalf of the Latinx Roundtable of the Center for LGBTQ+ and Gender Studies in Religion, also known as CLGS, and on behalf of the Pacific School of Religion, it is my honor and my privilege to welcome you to our event this evening titled Bomba, where queer theology meets Afro-Caribbean futurism. This event is a collaboration between the CLGS Latinx Roundtable, the GTU, that's the Graduate Theological Union's Center for Arts and Religion, also known as CARE, and the Office of Academic Affairs at PSR, including several PSR courses who are here represented as well. We are delighted to partner together, and with the assistance of Dr. Alexandra Rosado Roman, professor here at PSR, we are honored to welcome Batey Tambó to the Batey Museum. Batey Tambó is a Bay Area-based, women of color-led cultural group grounded in the centuries-old musical tradition of Afro-indigenous Puerto Rican Bomba. The group is directed by Denise Solis and Julia Cepeda. And on a personal note, I've had the pleasure of knowing you for many years. Thank you for being with us, Denise. I've known you for a few years. Cepeda, anyone growing up in Puerto Rico knows the last name Cepeda, a traditional family that has preserved and revitalized Bomba on the island around. The mission of Batey Tambó is to facilitate a discussion through dialogue, teaching, and sharing space for Bomba Bateys. These communal spaces are an intervention on discourse and practice pertaining to racial, gender, and geopolitical contexts. We thank you for being here and for gracing us with your gifts of music and song and dance, as well as the many lessons you will impart upon us. Thank you again. Before I turn it over to them, we do have some ground rules. The first one is to have fun. At its core, Bomba is about joy, so please don't be afraid to move your bodies, tap your feet, or even sing along. You are a part of this Batey, which is why you are a part of this semicircle. Well, full circle. Okay? Even those on Zoom, please participate. Please stand up, please feel free to dance, please feel free to move and sing. If you are on campus, you will have an opportunity to join the dance later on as well. More instruction will be given, there will be no pressure to do that. So I know some of you might not want to do it, that's fine. Number two, we encourage you to be in the moment. If you want to take any pictures or videos, please do so briefly. But a recording of this will be made available online. Okay, so we are recording this event. We thank Brianne for being here, and we also are recording the Zoom version of this. So no worries, there will be other opportunities to revisit today. If you post anything online, do tag Batey Tambo. Number three, this is a liberated space. Please be respectful of each other's choices to participate or not participate to the extent to which they are willing or comfortable. Number four, Bateys are typically configured by people standing in a circle, and again, that is standing. So for those joining us on campus, while we have provided you chairs, if you are willing and able, we encourage you to stand during the musical components of today. There will be some reflections intermingled with the musical performance, and you can definitely sit through those. I'm not going to say that too many more times, but whenever you hear the drums beating, it's a good time for us to stand. Finally, I hope this is an opportunity to learn. Bomba is close to my heart, and I believe it contains important lessons for us all. Again, that is personal lessons as well as communal ones. At a later point in the program, we'll have the opportunity to learn more about each of our amazing performers. So without any further ado, please stand as you are willing and able and join me in welcoming Batey Tambo.
Thank you. fish that made possible with the round table, Latinx round table. I just want to say a couple of notes about Bomba. I know that throughout the semester we have different classes have been talking about artivism, queer methods, theologies, Afrofuturism, spirituality, and social change, right? Yes. Well, all of this together too. And Bomba, I want to say a couple of things about Bomba as an artivist practice. Thank you, Dennis. Bomba is a traditional Afro-indigenous-Caribbean music and dance rooted in Puerto Rican culture and originating during the era of African enslavement. It transcends being an artist's expression and serves as a powerful form of resilience, and cultural preservation. Bomba improvisational measure, where dancers and drummers engage in an spontaneous dialogue like you just saw, make it living tradition that adapts to the emotions and needs of every performer and every community. It's a form of resistance too. Enslaved communities use Bomba gatherings to preserve their heritage, protest their conditions, and foster solidarity. It has a spiritual and communal role too. Bomba sessions embody themes of liberation, unity, and defiance, providing a space for storytelling, healing, and social bonding. As you know already, artivism is a blend of art and activism, and is a powerful form of expression that uses artistic mediums to promote social and political change. It combines creativity with art with the strategic goals of activism. Bomba seamlessly aligns with activism due to its deeply rooted tradition of resistance and community engagement. Historically, Bomba gatherings were acts of defiance, and the spirit continues today in movements for social justice, gender equality, and LGBTQ+ rights. Groups like Batey and Tambó combines traditional Bomba, in my view, with modern messages, creating an accessible and compelling platform for activism. Whether it's protests, workshops, cultural festivals, seminaries, Bomba remains a celebration of life and a dynamic tool for inspiring social and political change. And now, I just going to explain a little bit the dynamic you just saw. This that you are like sitting, this shape, it's called Batey, also Legal. This comes from our indigenous people, Taino people. The Batey for them was a ceremonial. It was in the center of the village, and they do ceremonies there. They also play games. They do activities there. So it was a sacred space, right? And the way we are shaped is because Bomba is a fun response. We are giving you energy, but you also give us energy as well. So it's like a synergy that happens, that you are part of it, you want it or not. You choose which type of energy you're giving us. So the Batey is very important, and in the Batey is where the dancer comes to speak, to talk, to the movements. So we have different drums. We have the buleadores, which is the last two, the one that Ilya started playing now. The buleadores are the drums that mark the constant pattern of the rhythm. They don't do anything else. Even if Dennis here is doing some improvisations, the buleadores keeps marking the actual pattern of the rhythm. And that's very important, not only for the song or the rhythmic part, but because that's the clue for the dancers. Oh, that's the guy, like a dancing. And then they will enter to the Batey knowing that they will do the steps of that particular rhythm. And then we have a subidor, which is tuned a little bit higher than the buleadores. And when there's no dancer, there's subidor, subidoras, subidoresas are going to very sensual too, and that will come with different rhythms. Different rhythms will spark different emotions. And when you enter to the ballet, it's like a portal, actually. You are stepping into a dimension that you don't know if you are getting out or stepping in. Because you are also entering into the ancestral space, right? And that's the powerful part of Bomba, because it's improvisation, and when you enter, you think you might do certain movements, but you are like taken over by the rhythm, by the song, by the energy. You know, it's just powerful. Segment in which you can dance, enjoy, but also speak. That's how we think about the movement. We speak. Yeah. So let's go with the second song. Thank you so much.
So thanks for being with us, and thank you, Alexander, for that very comprehensive explanation of Bomba. And maybe you can observe some of the dynamics and share your observations as well later. This song is a song I wrote. One of the ways in which the tradition continues evolving and staying alive is that there's so many great younger composers, and that we're trying to express also our experiences through the tradition. And this song, as well as the next song coming over, were songs that speak about not only that love that we have for our hometown and for our island, but also about the political part of things. You know, like obviously there's a lot of conflict throughout the world, and Puerto Rico is not exempt of that. So these songs talk also about that rebellious component of Bomba, in which we express the things that we're not okay with politically, and the things that we want to continue growing and getting together to fight that oppression and colonialism.
That's awesome.
And I think these two songs actually come after Herein Maria, and the series of events that trigger both politically, both in a humane area as well. And just the dignity of the people, and the fact that we have to stay together to make sure that we're all okay. Like we cannot rely on the system. We have to stay together and work together for what we believe in. And say with us, please, as Alexander said, you're part of the coro. the song says, Mi Borinquen Fuerte, my strong Borinquen, which is the indigenous, or the version of the indigenous name of Puerto Rico that we have kind of inherited, which is Boriquen, originally Borique, for our indigenous people that I know. Mi Borinquen Fuerte, please join us. En la unión está la fuerza, mi Borinquen fuerte, no ganará, mi Borinquen fuerte.
my reflection, I invite you to shimmy, sway, shake, if it moves you. So music and movement are powerful. I have yet to meet anyone who has not been moved internally by music. And some may choose not to move physically, but I am confident there is an inner steering of movement contrary to the outward appearance of stillness. So music and movement are powerful. I'm Manuel Falcon Padua. I'm a third-year EDIB student and co-founder of Reclaim Dance. Reclaim's mission is to unite Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and queer dancers through communal movement, self-expression, and meaningful exchange. By dancing together, we empower ourselves to build deeper connections, find courage, and co-create a more just and compassionate world. I love the art of dance and music, as you may already know. These art forms are a vehicle to access spirit. They guide a heart-centered way of being so that we can have quality relationships with one another. So I invite you to do a little shimmy in agreement to that. Dance is the liminal space of unmasking, whether dancing with yourself or in partnership. I've been fortunate to have had Dr. Alexandra Rosado Roman as my professor for queer visions last semester, thank you, and currently Dr. Ish Ruiz as my professor this semester for queer theology. Both have significantly shaped my queer theological lens. Queer is beyond an identity, but rather an action, a pause, and a way of being. To queer is to dismantle, to disrupt oppressive systems of power through a committed curiosity, self-reflexivity, imagination, and movement. It's a little shimmy for that, please. It is a method of seeing differently, contrary to the status quo. To queer is to become a bridge builder around conflict. In case you're wondering, you don't have to be queer to queer something. Can I have a shimmy for that? Disrupting time and space. So the Batey is an extension out there in the Zoom room, right? Not just this circle. Disrupting time and space is a queer thing when the dominant capitalistic, cis-heteronormative, patriarchal system says there's only one way to be happy or relate to each other. It is through binary thinking and harming each other through competition. Using the arts, such as dance and music, to disrupt time and space is a queer thing. When it invites us to collectively co-create and find alternative to competition, dominance, disinformation, hustle culture, and burnout. Since ancient times and across cultures, dance has been more than just choreography, entertainment, and exercise. Instead, it is a gateway to something greater than ourselves. Dance or movement is an entryway to a trance. Trance, or flow state, is an altered way of perceiving. If you are not a dancer, you may be familiar with this flow state as a runner, or when moving in any rhythmic, repetitive pattern that brings joy and expansiveness to the heart, mind, and body. One example is the whirling dervish in the Sufi tradition as they spin into a trance state in meditation. Tai Chi and yoga are other examples of moving meditations. These joyful, repetitive movements in attunement with breath are a dialogue with the divine, silencing the ego. These movements, practices of unmasking, reveal our interconnected nature with one another and deepen empathy and compassion. Non-ego in a trance is our growing edge to find a different way of being beyond cyclical, self-centeredness, and self-destruction. Can I get a shimmy for that? Tonight is my first time witnessing Bomba in person. Again, thank you. And I am drawn to its queering of communal relationships where the dancer leads the drummer instead of the other way around. We are blessed to witness the discourse in Bomba, a dialogue of activism, where music and dance are portals for accessing inner truths, founded on our love for humanity and ecology. It steers our imagination to question the culture of violence and consumption and explore nourishing relationships that create a world where all can thrive. Dance and music are primal access points to thinking differently and questioning oppressive systems of power. In contrast to economic, political, and spiritual stagnation, inner movement begets external movement. Music and movement are powerful even in stillness, and better as conduits to individual and social transformation. Can I get a shimmy for that? Thank you.
So you're gonna sing with us, right? Yeah. It's really easy, so everybody chip in. The chorus goes like this. Huracán. Sing with me. Huracán. That's right. Huracán. 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 Abre la punta para el carajo. Huracán. Llévate lo que no sirve. Huracán. Que cambie tu mundo. Huracán. Cuida corona. Huracán. Está bonita. Huracán. No importa tu vida. Huracán. Mentira tu tierra. Huracán. De la soberanía. Huracán. De la selectiva. Huracán. De todas las semillas.
Our tradition has historically been a source of both freedom and oppression. At our best, we can speak of a world where justice reigns, where the vulnerable are cared for, where people grow in love and in community, where each of us is a recipient of God's love and grace and revelation. Where we are all tasked with active leadership in our church, our church grows. And when we are all thriving, our church proclaims kingdom. Unfortunately, our Christian tradition falls short of this vision many times, especially when we think we have all the answers, or when we assume that God's revelation is accessible to only a few at the top, and that theology can be taught top-down, or when we ignore, when we fail to listen to the voices of the marginalized, or when we give in to individualism at the cost of our communal relations, or when we deny our body and consider our physical expressions to be secondary to our rational and spiritual pursuits. At our worst, Christianity can deny our humanity, our embodied humanity. Bomba has a lot to teach us about listening, about truth, about beauty, justice, identity, struggle, and liberated embodiment. And Bomba challenges us with a new vision. Like Manny, I too am a dancer. My mom taught me how to dance merengue and salsa when I was 8 years old. I recall her teaching me to close my eyes, listen to the beat, and then move my feet accordingly. A dynamic that closely mirrors how I was brought up in the Catholic Church. Close your eyes, keep your head down, listen to the teachings, and move your feet, or should I say, behave accordingly. Bomba disrupts the system. It inverts the relationship between the dancer and the music. In Bomba, the music listens to and follows the beat of the dancer, not the other way around, not all the time. What if, like the primo in Bomba, el subidor, la subidora, our Christian tradition learned to listen to the beat of our dance? That is to say, to the grace and the revelation present in each and every one of our lives. What if, like Bomba, instead of subjugating our body, Christianity sought to elevate our embodiment? What if the body is the location for God's revelation? What if our bodies, our desires, our love, identities, journeys, and transitions communicate God's desire for our own flourishing? What if, like Bomba, Christianity learned to center the voices of the oppressed? What if, like Jesus, we learned to walk with, perhaps dance with, the disenfranchised? What if we honored our tradition, our roots, ancestry, and common struggles? What if we elevated our mestizaje, our mulatez, our multicultural backgrounds? What if, like Bomba, all Christians, like you and me, learned to take risks, to join the Batey? What if we dare to use our bodies and our voices to create a new beat, to speak a new vision into existence? What if we dare to queer our current systems and disrupt the dominant rhythms that so often go unnoticed and expect us to dance to their beat? What if we dare to create a new world of radical authenticity? What if, like Bomba, Christianity learned to stand defiant against systemic erasure? What if all of us decided to resist erasure by refusing to be erased, by committing to existing, to resilience, to perseverance, no matter what dominant social or political powers try to erase us? What if, like Bomba, we learn to create spaces where all are welcome and where all can fully grow as integrated persons, body and soul? What if, like Bomba, we embraced joy, music, dance? What if, like Bomba, we embrace the messiness of life? Because we're not always going to convey our message clearly. We will not always be listened to. Our drummers will not always catch the move. Our country will not always make the correct choices. But we keep moving, keep dancing, keep existing, keep disrupting. More importantly, what if, like Bomba, Christianity kept daring to dream of a better world, a better kingdom? What if, like Bomba, we learn to be unafraid? Christianity has a lot to learn from Bomba.
Can we do these mics a little higher just because the drums? So really quickly, hi, thank you. I'm gonna take, because I'm a mic, I'm gonna take the facilitator mic privilege for a second. Buenas noches, good evening. Thank you all for being here. I did want to spend a couple moments just first to honor our elders in the tradition, and very specifically the elders of our Batey. We started out with a song called Hay Bomba in San Francisco. There's Bomba in San Francisco. And that song, and all of our songs today actually are originals from current living Bomba practitioners, and starting with our mentor, our elder, Don Jesus Cepeda Brenes, who's known to or referred to as the Tambó Mayor. He is our teacher, he is our elder. He's currently in Puerto Rico, and he is a member of the Familia de Bomba, the Bomba family, the Cepeda family. He is Julia's father, and he wrote that song. So we wanted, you know, I really should have opened the space honoring him and our ancestors of the Bomba tradition, of the Familia Cepeda, which is our line, our lineage. I think it's important as we learn from them, that we learn the values of Bomba, and those values really is what makes the magic happen. How we come into this space unafraid, authentic as who we are, how we observe and learn and honor those who came before us, and that we honor a Black space, a Black indigenous space, first and foremost. And then I wanted to, Iria spoke about her song, but Maria Jose didn't really talk about Huracán. And in that interlude, she said, "Ni una mujer más." And it's important to know that atrocities are happening all over the world, and in specific, that song is about Puerto Rico. And Maria, can you just say a little bit about what you're saying there, just because I think it should be captured, and thank you for that song that you wrote.
Yeah, that song came out of community, out of the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, which really was a colonial disaster, not a natural disaster. And we're still living that aftermath today through displacement. There is a fiscal control board in Puerto Rico that Obama appointed that is basically a dictatorial crew that is meant to cut essential services and make things harder for Puerto Rico to stay in the island and have a good, dignified life. And what happens when the government strangles the people psychically and with measures is that it creates horizontal violence. So there's a lot of femicides in Puerto Rico of women, of queer people, and that song speaks to all of it, to all of that. And that we're paying this debt that we don't really owe, because in colonialism we are owed our sovereignty, and that we need to come together to aid to live our freedom now, not wait for it to come.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So we'll keep it moving, and thank you so much for those amazing interventions, because they do speak to what we're doing here, and it goes so well with all that's being said tonight. Thank you.
And going back to what some of the things that have been said, Bomba is also about celebration, and for us, it is like a celebratory space of our culture and our roots, since we're so far from it. So in our diasporic experiences, we also have that nostalgia, but we also bring this home with us. And so this song and a lot of my songs, most of my songs, are about that feeling, that nostalgia that comes also with celebration and knowing that the island lives in me, even if I'm far away. The chorus a bit longer, but if you catch it, sing with us, and if not, hum, clap, dance. Please join us. So, soy yo la que rompe la piedra, pájaro que vuela, llevo el Caribe en el alma.
us here. Sister, thank you for dancing with us. Thank you. I hope you're okay. You moved my spirit. The spirit was moved. Thank you for that. This space is an incredibly vulnerable space, and our teacher, Julia Cepeda, who you just saw dance, when she's teaching, she encourages her students to tell their story. And our story is sometimes messy, it's sometimes awkward, it's sometimes shy, it's sometimes joyous, but it's our individual story. And we learn a certain set of protocols because this tradition has to be evolving, but it has to maintain the root, right, which is important. But within that, there's improvisation and there's coming into the space as who you are, your most authentic self. So our crew in particular, and why I called our elder Jesus Cepeda out, is because our crew did things a little bit different. First, we broke gender norms and said women don't generally play drums, much less play the lead drum, much less a queer woman. So we're gonna do that in the space. We're gonna invite our queer trans and queer allies to come into the space as they are, wearing a skirt, not wearing a skirt, and that's okay too. And so there are certain things that were steeped in the tradition that followed heteronormative and patriarchal norms, and we decided to disrupt those. And so our crew in particular just wants to come in authentically, and that's how we choose to be in space and to be an open space, always centering Black, Indigenous, Puerto Rican folks, and always honoring our ancestors and our elders, and being true to this in all of the ways that have been spoken about so articulately. Letting go of ego, of commercialism, of consumerism, of extractive behaviors to just do what the Spirit calls, because that is the most authentic way to be. All right? Vamos para adelante. We're figuring it out. Iria wrote the last song, the previous song. We're doing another Maria Jose. I want to give a shout out to Maria Jose Montijo and Iria Correa. Both of these songs have been written by them.
And this song is also very easy to sing along, so vamos allá. It goes like this. Despierta, 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 despierta. A un horizonte de luz, despierta. Yo te digo cantar, no me guiarás a lo bueno. Despierta. A un horizonte de luz, despierta. Yo te digo cantar, no me guiarás a lo bueno. Despierta.
before we go, I just want to introduce the members of our crew to everybody. We do everything with music, so I want to introduce everybody here to Maria Jose Montijo, also known as Esoterica. Let's be Quintanilla. Our maestra, Julia Caridad Cepeda. La profesora Alejandra Rosado Román. Mi colega original Lilia Correa. La maestra Denise Orizaba Batey. We are Batey Tambó. Look us up on Instagram at Batey Tambó. Shameless plug. Esoterica Tropical just released an album, so look them up on Instagram. Songs that we did today, Bomba style, you can hear on their album on Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, with Dia and Julia playing the tracks.
So
Fusion.
that's who we are. We are diaspora based here in the Bay Area. I don't think any of us are from the Bay Area, so Bay Area has friends. And we're gonna do a quick interactive for folks here in person. Well, I'm gonna invite you to dance this next song with us, with help. I think Julia and Leslie maybe are gonna do something here. We're gonna be playing the rhythm of Sika. Can everybody say Sika? So we played it earlier. Today we played Yuba, we played Karinda, Oyamula, and we're going to end with Sika and another original by Ilia. So it's called Yo Soy del Oeste, because Ilia's from the west coast of Puerto Rico and she's in the west coast of the US. So she's a west coast girl, all around, all the way square. West Coast square. Once again, thank you all for having us here. We appreciate being in this beautiful building with so much history for what you do, the interventions you will be doing in life and everywhere you go, the critical thinking and the spiritual healing that goes along with that is powerful. So thank you for everything that you do and for being here. And big shout out to whoever ordered the food. The Caribbean food in the house. Thank you for that. I needed that. So thank you.
And thank you to Manny and Ish and Alexandra for the beautiful speeches they did tonight as well. And thank you everyone for your energy. Thank you for staying out and for giving us such warm energy. This song is another original. I just did it at the Encuentro de Cantadoras, which is an old bomba, female bomba singer festival, and I had the beautiful opportunity of representing both Puerto Rico, but also the Bay Area and our diasporic presence here. And it talks about, I'm from the west coast of Puerto Rico, and even though I've been learning a lot with the Cepeda family, I also started my bomba journey in the west coast with different communities, and it just celebrates that as well as an intro. Just a way. And then after that, please join us with some dancing.
So, Julia and Leslie. Yeah, my students know I'm like a squirrel, unfortunately. They're going to be doing some steps. So if you want to join, just stand up and behind them, so you can follow their steps. Please.
Sobre el mar Caribe, en mi isla del encanto, repica mi corazón Tambó. Al atardecer, con la puesta del sol, de los puntos cardinales
esencia y mi honor, de los puntos cardinales del oeste que soy yo. Yo soy del oeste, como la puesta del sol sobre el mar Caribe, repica mi corazón. Yo soy del oeste, como la puesta del sol sobre el mar Caribe, repica mi corazón.
Wow. Please join me in thanking Batey Tambó. This concludes our formal program for the evening, but before I go, I want to welcome Dean Abraham to offer some words.
Thank you. Oh my God, this has been amazing. I was just thinking in how many religious traditions the idea of dance is associated with the divine. So we began today in the chapel, you weren't here, but the others were, with a reflection from Hindu scriptures. One of the how to say, most powerful images of the divine is the Lord of the dance. But here's what's interesting about the Lord of the dance. That particular deity who dances is the destroyer. And you might ask, what is he destroying? Ignorance, stupidity, oppression, all kinds of pride, and the belief that we, even gods, are the most powerful things in the world. All forms of pride is what he destroys. And in that destruction, he creates. It's a he, unfortunately, but in India, he's are she's and she's are he's, so it's okay. But I was just thinking about what you all were drawing out of this community. You were drawing both destruction of all that we need to destroy and creation to bring that which is to be. And if any of you are interested in any studies that I have, some of you could save for this, so do come and talk to me. I mean, that's my job. So, gratitude. Thank you, Professor Ish. Professor Ish provided me with a list of thank yous so that I don't forget all the people that I have to thank. But primarily, we are here to thank Batey Tambo and their director, Denise Solis, especially for your work, your words, your music, and what you've been able to draw out of us. I can't thank you enough for that. And then I'd like to thank very much our wonderful professors, Professor Alexander Rosado Roman.
Yes, we love you.
And Professor Ish Ruiz. I think it must have been about 2 years ago. Manny and some other people were in my office looking very irate. So, folks come to my office either looking irate or very scared. So this was the other mode. This was the irate mode. Look, we have something to talk about. And I said, what is it you want to talk about? Well, there is no art at PSR. Where will you bring art into the curriculum?
Right.
But here's the sad thing. PSR has had a long tradition of being inclusive of art and dance and music in its curriculum. But in the years that you arrived here, there was a hiatus. So we began a search for volumes that would understand what it means to integrate art and theology and spirituality and multiplicities of expression. And I think we've been very successful. So in a self-congratulatory mode,
Great. That's good.
we have performers here of different kinds, so this is also what I do. I do very much want to thank Manny. There is your spirit here. You were very insistent that day in my office that this should happen. And you've made it happen. So thank you for what you have done.
Oh, Manny. We love you, Manny.
Among other people that I'm thanking is the absolutely peerless Laura Ryan, who is where? Not here.
Cheers.
Well, she's like God, she's everywhere.
All at the same time.
But she's here, she's the one that provides us food, she's the
she's the goddess of plenty. For service. I mean, she's been at this all day today, as we know. All day.
Thank you, Lord.
Then I was watching Matthew Robinson. We have been so supremely lucky in calling people to be with us, to be part of our mission and identity. Again, Matthew has been here all day. And if you saw him scurrying around, and not just worrying about music, I saw him bring water to people. This is very particular about the people we call. Thank you. Diana, you're coming to talk to me about PSR too. We also need to thank very much the people who set up this space, break down this space, reset this space, and keep this space going. That's Joe, Jesse, Alex, and Marco. We do thank Professor Elizabeth Pena from the GTU and CARE for co-sponsoring this event. So I hope Professor Pena is online or wherever she is. But thank you so much, Professor Pena. We thank very much Professor Bernie Schlager and CLGS also for being a co-sponsor. Dance is meant to queer epistemologies. See, that's sexy. You should go. It's meant to really challenge our certitudes and what we think we know. So all of those who are brave enough to dance, I'm not, many, I'm not. I don't do that. But for those of you who are willing to break that barrier, thank you. Because you're revealing something so important about our world and our need for right now. We also thank Brianna very much, who's in the back over there. Brianna and the marketing team do so much in the background to set us up to be visible to the larger public. This is work that most of us don't see, but we should acknowledge, because without that, we would not have eyes looking at us from the outside. We just don't want to be people on the inside looking at each other and feeling happy. We need others. So thank you for opening those doors and windows. Professor Ish wanted me to thank the OAA staff. Yes, part of the work that my office does, the Office of Academic Affairs does, is to ask how can we bring better integration, especially of ideas, of views, of political movements, of voices that we ordinarily may not include the academy. And this is why I feel the tragedy. Either we come to you and learn dance, or you come to us and teach us dance. How about that? And we also want to thank very much President David for all his support and encouragement for these activities. So thank you. And I thank everybody who has come in here, including some little ones who were here. But thank you all for coming. Thank you all for those who are online. Thank you, everyone. This has been a marvelous evening.
Yes, it has.
Thank you. One final word of thanks to Batey and Tambo. Please join me in thanking them. Thanks for being in our space.
Thank you. Woo-hoo! Is this your background?
Folks online, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful night and hope that you enjoyed the event. I'll see you around, okay? See you in class. Peace out, everybody.
I'm living with